Okay, so this is lesson 4 classwork. By accident for my 5F class, I thought it was 6F, so I started the Google Meet at the wrong time, so I'm making this in lieu of that. All right, so here we go. So number 1, I want to find AB. So you have to subtract the x's, square that difference, then subtract the y's, square that difference, and then get the square root. So I have 4 squared, then I have -8 squared. They're always going to be positive because you're squaring them, so the order doesn't matter. So I get square root of 80. That is the square root of 16 times the square root of 5, so it's 4 rad 5. Now on your calculator, you can go to Y1 and type in 80 divided by x squared, and then when you go to second graph, you'll see the table. And in the left-hand column, you will see the 16. Okay, I'm actually going to do it on my calculator. So I have, let's see, 80 divided by x squared. And then I go to table, which is second graph. And on the left-hand side, when I go down, what you're looking for is the largest integer, which has an integer on the right. So in the left, you'll see a 4, and on the right, a 5. That's another way you could see the answer, 4 rad 5. Okay, number 2, they give you the center and what it passes through. So we can find the radius by subtracting the x's, squaring them, subtracting the y's, squaring that, and then getting the square root. So I have -6 squared, that's 36. 9 squared, that's 81. So I end up with the square root of 117. So again, you might want to pause this video and go to Y1 and type in 117 divided by x squared. When you do that, you will see, okay, that the answer is 3 square root of 13. But they're asking me for the diameter, so that's the radius. So the diameter is 2 times 3 square root of 13. When you multiply radicals, you only multiply the 2 and the 3. You don't multiply that square root of 13 part unless you had another square root part. So 6 square root of 13 is the final answer. Okay, so for this review question, we want to get the slope first. So we have change in y over change in x. So that's what, -2 over -4, or a half. You could do it the reverse way. The perpendicular slope, you have to flip it and change the sign. So that's -2. Midpoint, you have to add and divide by 2. Add and divide by 2. So we get 1, 5. Now when you go to write the point slope formula, you have to use the perpendicular slope and the midpoint. So you get y minus 5 equals -2 times x minus 1. That would be the point slope. That goes here actually. The slope intercept you would distribute, so you get -2x plus 2, and then you have to add 5 to both sides. So you get y is -2x plus 7. Both of these are equations. The first one is point slope, and the second one is the slope intercept. Okay, for number 2, I can try to be creative and see what happens if I actually use my compass on here. I don't think I can fit my stylus through the hole. Let me just see. No, it doesn't work. Okay, so the way you would have to do this is you have to put a point at each end. You're going to take your compass, you're going to open more than halfway between A and B. So if you put the center of the compass on A, you will swing an arc And then if you put the center of your compass on B, keep the same setting and you will swing an arc going the opposite direction. Then you get these 2 points of intersection and you connect them up. Okay, you guys have to use the compass. I don't have a compass tool for this program, but that is the perpendicular bisector. Okay, pause the video, take your time, make sure that you can actually do that skill. So question 3 is partitioning a directed line segment. Now by directed, it means you have to start at one of the points. So it starts at M because it says M to E. So this is X1, Y1, X2, Y2, and that's A and B. Okay, you can go back in your notes and look at the formula and see that it's X1 plus A over A plus B times X2 minus X1. Then you have Y1 plus A over A plus B, Y2 minus Y1. So I get -5 inside these parentheses, and you could use a calculator if you want. In these parentheses I get -10. So when I take 2/5 of -5, I get a -1 times 2, that's -2. So I end up with a -3 here. And then over here I get 2/5 times -10. Well, the 5 goes in -2 times, so I get -4. 3 plus -4 is -1. So that would be your answer. So this would be point E. And if you plot, I put graph paper in Google Classroom, so if you plot M and N and plot E, it will make sense that it's split in a 2:3 ratio. Okay, taking a look at number 4, I have the center of the circle, so I have to use the midpoint formula, setting this equal to 1, and setting this equal to -2, and then the 4 goes here, and the 2 goes here. Okay, now you're just going to solve this, so I get x sub 1 plus 4 is 2. Subtract the 4, x sub 1 is -2. Multiply both sides by 2, so I get y1 plus 2 is -4. Subtract the 2, so I get -6. Therefore, the other endpoint is -2, -6. Now, if you take this other endpoint and the given endpoint and add them together and divide by 2, add the x's, divide by 2, add the y's, divide by 2, you can check your work to see that you did it correct, because you'll get that center point. All right, in number 5, they want me to get the equation of the line that's passing through these 2 points. So hopefully by now, through repetition, you should be getting that. You have to get the slope first, change in y over change in x. Then you have to take either point, so there's 2 answers, so I get y minus -4 is -5 times x minus 3, or y minus 1 is -5 times x minus 2. They're both correct. Now if you distribute, it doesn't matter which one of these you distribute, you're going to get the same answer. I'll do this one. And then let me add the 1. So I get -5x plus 11. That's the slope-intercept form. So this is point slope, and this is slope-intercept. Okay, get the equation of the line perpendicular. First, we have to get the slope. Okay, so we divide by -1, and we get x minus 2. Okay, so here, my slope is equal to 1, but I need the perpendicular slope. So when I flip it, I still get 1. 1 is its own reciprocal, and then I change the sign. So this is the slope you're going to use. So I get y minus y1 equals m, the perpendicular m, times x minus x1. And that's it. You could distribute that if you like to get the slope-intercept. Okay, the last one, get the equation of the line perpendicular, so it would just be y equals 1. Because you have Vuxhoy, so they gave you a vertical line. So a horizontal line will be perpendicular. So it has to be y equals, since it's a horizontal line. Okay, sorry again for my mess up today. Thank you so much for understanding.